and this is development of multi-dimensional model for the selection, evaluation, and promotion of judges between Scylla and Charybdis. So very short introductory words about, from raising three questions, basically. First, where are we? Why do we need this project? Second, so this question, why, I will try shortly to explain the idea of partners initiating this project, why we think that actually we need this kind of discussion about the selection, evaluation, and promotion of judges now, not 10 years ago, not in the future, but now is the right time to think about this. And the last thing, it will be about how are we going to achieve our aims. Starting from the present situation is that actually right now we have a lot of reforms in majority of countries in Europe and abroad also. So countries who have established already quite high standards for selection, promotion, evaluation of judges started to thinking that maybe something is missing. The judges themselves raised questions that if these procedures are really transparent, do we know exactly how the judges are being selected, evaluated, on what kind of basis are they being promoted? Not only looking at the general indicators, which we already know from the years in 2010 and 12 from international documents, which said the selection, the promotion, the evaluation should be based on objective criteria established by law, that we know, based only on merit, having regard to qualification, to skills and capacity required for adjudication of cases. We have these kind of indicators who say that what is important, that all the selection commissions or other subjects involved in the procedures should check how the judges handle complex cases, their ability to mediate between partners, ability to draft clear and comprehensive judgment. All sounds very well. There's a wide list of all the competencies which we as society, as academics, as judges themselves require from a judge. And for example, one example of one country, it's actually Germany, but it could be from any other country, is how it looks like in practice. And for example, the law says that Council for Judicial Appointments shall deliver a written opinion with reasons on the candidate or the judge's personal and professional aptitude. The opinion shall be placed in file within 1 month. And the law also says the candidate should be able to provide the social competence necessary for the judge's office. Sounds really great, but the question is, how should we do this? It's not only that we say we need really a judge who understands social reality, who has good analytical capacities. When we are thinking about transparency and about accountability to the society, what we need to check is this step-by-step procedures. How are the subjects who are responsible for evaluating, selecting, promoting judges, how they are checking if the judge corresponds to these abstract requirements. And that's why we thought we need this kind of project and this intervention, because what we checked, we saw interesting results. That actually, for example, CPESH data also are available on that, and data from other countries, that at the first level, even the second level of the judiciaries, for example, the quotes for men and women are almost equal. But when we check not the quotes, but the representation of men and women at the Supreme Court's level, we see in the whole Europe the great discrepancies. The newest data from 2020 from European Institute for Gender Equality data, we can subtract it based on occupancy of the Supreme Court's presidents and members based on sex of the representative, shows that in EU there is 40% representative women and 60% men in general. But we have countries, for example, like Poland, where this is only 25% of women and 75% of men. The same for Finland, 25 and 75. In Norway, is also not equality, it's 40 and 60. Lithuania, almost the same. In Albania, current situation is difficult, but there's 100. So the data shows 100% of men occupancy in the Supreme Court. So that shows to us that even if we have these criteria, but maybe there's some bottleneck somewhere in the procedures where we kind of not allowing to reach this equality in the highest rank in the judiciary. And here we can think about also psychological aspects, why we need to investigate that, and why we involved in the project psychology specialists. We are not only lawyers here working, we need sociology and psychology specialists also, because one of the things the research shows, there is the risk of unconscious biases during the selection, evaluation, and promotion of judges. We are all human, we are maybe not aware of these facts, but a lot of researchers show that, for example, one very famous example was with orchestra in USA, where in 1970s, after the performances, where they would like to choose the best performance, so 90% of winners of these performances were men. And that was the question, maybe they are just the better musicians. And then they decided to do the kind of blind view, blind gate, and perform blind performances, and even ask the ladies to take out the shoes in order not to say to the commission that the woman is coming to the performance. And after that, in 1980s, 50% of winners were already women. So these results we have in other areas also. These results shows people are not aware of unconscious biases. And one of the ideas which we are investigating is, if we have very strict criteria, requirements, competences for judges, equally important is to check the tools. How we are checking that the judge has the relevant social competence. This is important. The second important factor is, are the subjects who are doing this procedure competent enough? Meaning, for example, if one of the tools to evaluate the psychological competence or social competences is interview, very popular instrument, the commission or some committee of high professionals are sitting together and decide who is worthy of the promotion or not. So do they know the methodology, how to conduct interviews in a proper, objective, and transparent way? If we are doing the surveys, do we know how to do that in a correct way in order not to allow the discrimination or unconscious biases to prevail in the decision-making? And this is one of these great issues which we are trying to solve, and now I'm coming to this part of what we'd like to change. We would like to provide an instrument for every European country with clear insights about what kind of tools and instruments, so looking from scientific perspective, are available in order to check these kind of competencies which we required from a judge. We are doing right now the list of all possible tools which are used, of all possible methodologies, and we are a team of academics and judiciary and also with social society involved, and we would like to pre-screen these kind of procedure, tools, methodologies, to say our scientific word on that. Does this procedure, which we think is relevant in our state, does it correspond to the requirements of transparency, non-discrimination? Does it allow the diverse nature and of all candidates, for example, which are applying to a specific court? Because one of the European recommendations is also that we should not have kind of similar candidates or similar base of candidates in one court. We need diversity. Only then the teams in courts are working well. And these unconscious biases actually can step in this procedure because we kind of like the persons who are like us. If I am, for example, very outgoing person, maybe I will say in the selection procedure that person who is outgoing also is the right candidate. So if we do not have objective, merit-based, scientifically proven methodology, it is very difficult to achieve the transparent outcomes. And this is what the project is about. So for the future, we would like to have this achieve somehow comparability of results in every country, but also provide these scientific insights on what constitutes transparency, what constitutes non-discriminatory approach, looking in these small steps. Not the general that we need social competences, but what specific procedural steps we need to do in orderly way in order to get these transparent results. So this is our aim for the future. And here this thing between choosing between two devils comes in place, because one is when we are developing the model, what we are seeing, it's very diverse situation in every country. And the methodologies, the procedures vary from very quick and non-formalistic ones. And this is a good thing. If you need a judge, you can really select through the pool of candidates based mostly on interviews. So that the people are coming together and deciding without involving formalistic procedure who is the best. Because they know from experience, maybe they know this person. So this is the quick procedure, but of course we do not get the relevant result of transparency. Even the judges themselves then do not know how to act in order to understand what is required for promotion, for example. So this is one side that if we do it so really leave a lot of discretion for the subjects who are deciding about the evaluation, selection, promotion of judges. We have the quick procedure. Judges can start work directly, but there will be no transparency issues here. And the other procedure is what actually is also not the best tendencies. We will talk today about it when we have too formalistic procedure. When we think about transparency in such a way that we create a lot of bureaucratic procedures, a lot of steps of assessments to do this other thing, this Charybdis in that kind, could be that the candidates are not willing to participate in these procedures anymore. The first thing, you will not have the pool from which to choose the best judges. And this is a very important problem. So the procedures should be as such that the judges, potential judges or potential judges going to promotion would like to participate in and perceive them as really transparent and needed. And the other thing is looking from the state side, if we have this really formal, bureaucratic, so too formalistic procedures, we can wait for the judges for filling the post for 2 years, for 3 years. We will have temporarily acting judges. We will have not filled promotion places. And this is also not a good thing. So when we are developing this model, we have this in mind that we need some middle ground. And this is very challenging aspects here. But we are not afraid of challenges, so I hope that our results will be really useful, not only for our partner countries, for Lithuania, Albania, Czech Republic, and Norway, but also for the whole Europe. And by finishing, there will be kind of a request for all participants, for all the attendees of the conference. We are very much interested in your opinion. We will talk with judges in every country. We planned surveys and interviews, but also we have developed a website, and there is a place where you can just contact either anonymous or not and just say maybe you had some experience. What works and what does not work in the procedures of the selection, evaluation, and promotion of judges, or just would like to be informed about the results. We will go for the publicity, of course. We will publish the results and promote them. But if you are interested, just please visit our website, and we will also contact with you. And so thank you for your kind consideration, and I wish you all very inspiring ideas for our future conference.